Guys, I've got not so good news about the changes on international students as announced today, the 22nd of January, by the remarkable Mark Miller. There are enormous, and when I say enormous, I mean huge changes to the international student pathway to Canada, and we will go through everything right about now. And the first change is the cap of international students. In 2024, the IRCC have decided to cap this intake for international students to 360,000 students for this year, and this is a decrease of 35% from last year. Last year there were about 800,000 international students in 2023 that landed in Canada. IRCC will allocate numbers to each and every province and territory. Each province and territory will then allocate these numbers, the portion of their cap, to different DLI schools in their provinces, and then these DLI schools in their provinces will then issue the letters of admission in accordance to the cap that had been provided to them by their provinces. The good news is everyone who are already holding a study permit, everyone who will renew their study permit are not affected by this new regulation. Those who are going to study master's and doctoral degrees here in Canada are not affected as well. And those who will study elementary and secondary school are also not affected. So really, it's more of the students who will come here on continued education or postgraduate diploma, postgraduate certificate, and licensing certificates. Those are the ones that are massively affected by this new regulation. Another change is that every study permit application will require attestation by the province or the territory where the school is located at. Now, how does the attestation actually work? We do not know yet. IRCC did not divulge any information about this. What they said is that they expect the provinces to come up with their attestation process by the end of March 2024. Until that time, we do not know how the attestation works, but definitely it is required that if you will apply for a study permit, attestation from the province or territory level is required together with your application package or application documents. Another good news is that, yes, there is good news, that this new regulations are only applicable for 2 years. By the end of 2024, IRCC will assess and evaluate the number of cap that they will implement for 2025. And another big, and I say huge change is that the change in postgraduate work permit, apparently, IRCC decided that only those who will study master's and doctor's degrees in Canada, their spouses will be the ones eligible for open work permit. If the student studies an undergraduate degree, a post-degree diploma, a post-degree certificate, any other certificate will not allow the partner to have or receive an open work permit. And this is huge. Another huge change. There are a lot of this huge change. Those who graduate from a master's degree and short course or short programs that are of graduate level, meaning programs that are pursued after bachelor's degree. So if you have a bachelor's degree and then you pursue a higher level of education, when you graduate from that and a master's degree, then you are eligible for a 3-year work permit, which is huge. This is absolutely huge. Your work permit is no longer tantamount or parallel to your number of years that you studied. So recently, if you studied 1 year, you are eligible for 1 year open work permit. If you studied 2 years, then you're eligible for a 3-year work permit. And right now, this is no longer the case. This is astounding, surprising to say the least, but this is applicable as we speak for 2 years, and this is only temporary. As per IRCC can change it. They can say, well, best of luck, we're going to extend it for another year. We don't know. But right now, this is what's happening. All of these changes are the effects of the housing crisis here in Canada. And it's a blatant punch to the face of immigrants, really, saying that we have a housing crisis, we blame you, and therefore this is what we are going to do to you because we blame you. It's quite a funny stance that this Minister Miller is doing, making it harder and harder for international students who, as a matter of fact, international students are great, amazing, spectacular resource of skills, experience, knowledge, and everything else in between. Of course, their finances as well. They have the push and the motivation to live a good life and be a benefit to the economy of this great country. But when you come around and when you see such kinds of regulations implemented by a person who was not an immigrant himself anyway, how does that make you feel? It's a blatant punch to the face. It's disorienting, frustrating to say the least. I know if there is a housing crisis, then the housing crisis should be answered to. There should be a solution to it. But the idea of single-handedly and just focusing to the apparent cause, according to them, of the housing crisis being the international students, just focusing on limiting international students and making it as hard as possible for international students to come to Canada and be a benefit to this great economy of this great country. How is that possible? How does that make sense? It is frustrating. I know many of you have got your plans of applying for your study permit this month, next month, even the following month. And this huge news of PGWP for your spouse is no longer applicable. Yeah, we are all taken by surprise. But apparently, if you will take master's or doctoral, then your partner will be eligible for PGWP, and that's the only way. The idea of the province giving attestation is right there, so it's still gonna be in by the end of March. If you will apply before the end of March and you do not have attestation, then you will be refused because it is a requirement. It is a requirement by IRCC, and therefore you will have to wait until the province releases their process of attestation. So guys, I will cover more of this news, how this minister is helping the economy of this country. I do not know. Definitely this is frustrating. And this guy, since the time that he sat on this role, have been releasing frustrating and punch to the face of immigrants kinds of news. I really hope to hear one good immigrant-friendly kind of regulation that will come from him in the next 12 months. If that will happen, I don't know, but if it will, then I will be the very first one to make a video about it, I tell you. Let's know more about these changes. Let's know more about the details, the needs and bits and details in the future. And if you are on that brink of frustration and you don't want to push forth with this application, think it twice. I can understand you. Take a deep breath and do not give up on your dream yet. There are more to your dream than just this kind of regulation implemented by this Mark Miller.